Welcome to the PAX Hospitality Podcast. Sorry.
Keep going.
Sorry, I nearly fucked up the title of the show just then. Hey,
Great start.
I'm here with the whole crew again. So what's up, guys?
Hello.
But today we're actually gonna hear mostly from Loren today, and us three knuckleheads are gonna do our best to shut the hell up.
Yeah, this is the last you'll hear from me.
Okay.
So store that in your brain.
Today what we're gonna cover is marketing, and obviously that's quite the broad umbrella.
You betcha.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do is just do a bit of a marketing 101. And dude, let's be honest, this is probably going to be about 6 fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's just so much to cover.
There's heaps to talk about. Yeah.
But I think the best way to do it is to we're doing this through that lens of like everything we do, demystifying, some of the misconceptions and trying to just make it really practical. And the lens that we're going to apply today is going to be, a business owner, from the perspective of a business owner. How should I approach this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're the translator, so I think it's going to be really awesome to just spend some time getting into your model, understanding your approach. Already, in the amount of time that we've worked together, it's just been unbelievable for me to be able to see things through such a practical lens. Half the time I think when you're talking to, I don't know, anyone in that marketing sphere, it's so like visionary and up here and esoteric. Yeah. And I think it's cool to be able to go, oh no, it's pretty mechanical. You just need to know what the parts are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So I think that's kind of the goal. We don't know how long, like I said, this could be 1 episode or 6. I think it's probably going to be 6. So I think let's just keep talking and go through things until Tim cuts us off because we're over time, and then we'll go into part 2 later.
Yeah, sounds good. I think we're coming at this from thinking about an owner-operator that may not have the resources within to do some of the more strategic marketing stuff. I think the application of some just really simple tips and tricks.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I would love to get out of today's episode.
Okay, amazing. And should also, just a quick little caveat is that we did a portion of your model about a year ago,
Yeah.
I say, on the Principle of Hospitality podcast.
Yeah.
And I think we'll cover a bit of that stuff, but I think up to you. You play it by ear, and I think if there's like, hey, let's not rehash that, we can just send people back to that episode.
Yeah, go and have a listen.
And we'll just do like a higher level one on here.
Yep.
But let's just see where we go. So where do we kick off?
I think maybe we look at this, the very broad umbrella of marketing and how I come at it.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think about it in 3 components, like a circle flow of everything that happens before the customer is in the venue. So what are you doing to attract them? While they're dining with you, all of the elements, all of the marketing touch points that happen when they're in the venue, and that kind of crosses over into some of the product land. And then after, what are you doing to make sure that they come back and you're retaining them and you're fostering loyalty? So at every piece of that arc, there's lots of bits and pieces to optimize,
So
basically.
I love this model because it is taking so many diverse components of marketing, some that people know, right? Everyone knows marketing involves content, for instance, but most people think that's all it is.
Yeah.
And you're taking this kind of great model and applying it to every single facet.
Yeah.
And you can almost like, without knowing all the granular detail on what each one consists of, I just know that, hey, if I just think about it and I think about this whole department from, pre, during and post.
Yep.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And just put yourself in that customer experience from those 3 stages, and you're already going to start to see some great perspective. So I love that, right? It makes it really neat.
And the attracting is so much more than promotion. There's a lot of marketing architecture to look at.
Yeah.
And a lot of basic areas of marketing that you can own and influence before you even start thinking about.
Was this a learnt model for you, or did you come up with this?
I don't want to claim I came up with it, but I didn't get given it.
Sure. Yeah. It's a bit of a synthesis of all your experience and then packaged up in your own way.
And I think the crossover that I've had from the sales side of restaurants, the ops side, and into marketing, like I am not a brand strategist. I didn't do a marketing degree. It's kind of pretty niche and hyper specific of how do we take restaurants and share what they're doing with the world and kind of capture those customers. So
yeah, totally.
I think
you're really unique in that sense where, you were just at the coalface of hospitality marketing so quick in your career.
Yeah.
It's almost like, for a lot of people that go through academia, you have to almost lose the first 8 years of your career just learning how to, or not just to not get stuck in the theory.
Yeah, sure.
And that's not just academia. That's probably anything, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to become an expert in wine, the first big portion of your journey is going to be understanding all the theory and all those things that you want to go and argue with people about at dinner parties and stuff. It's like you have to learn how to get unstuck from that before you can build your own IP.
Yeah. And I think the sweet spot for me is like translating marketing into commercial outcomes.
There it is,
And
I think that's the biggest strength of what you'll talk about across these episodes.
Yeah.
For sure. It's like taking the marketing lens into the commercial aspect of what we do in hospitality, because that's the bit, the link that's usually broken.
Yeah. And taking the work of great brand teams and great agencies and going, all right, cool, let's make dollars out of that rather than just beautiful things.
This is how you plug it in.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, so do you start with which bit sequentially?
I might jump into when I think marketing and just the broad umbrella, and we don't have to get too granular, but just so that it opens up people's perspective on it's not just promotion, is all things sales and customer service. So that's the people in your business driving revenue, or the things that are driving revenue. So bookings, reservation strategies, event sales strategies, and business development, and then the admin side, like all the customer service, your guest services team, whatever you want to call them.
Can I ask you a quick question? When you say business development, what are we referring to specifically?
Okay, we've got a calendar of major exhibitions happening at MCEC. How are we going to capture them and make sure that they are aware that we have these incredible private dining offers?
Okay, got it. And would you also put like promotional collabs in there? Like it's World Honey Day, so we're going to do. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
got it.
Melbourne International Film Festival. How are we going to get in their food program?
Yeah,
Food and Wine Festival Melbourne. How are we going to get in their program?
Love that. So why was that so funny? You said
World Honey Day. It was amazing. That's such a good reference. Just like, what reference should I plug from my brain? World Honey Day. Fucking hell. It's wild. I'm sure it is.
Wow, you look at the stats on it. See how oversubscribed that shit is, and then tell me you don't want to do a collab with it.
A couple of morons sitting over here.
So then sales and customer service, that's a massive part of a restaurant.
Yeah.
I see that sitting under kind of a marketing remit.
Yeah.
But on a smaller scale, like an ops manager or a restaurant manager might be handling some of that stuff.
Yeah, because that's the next thing I was going to ask you is depending on the scale of the organisation, they might not have a marketing department or a marketing person, and these are all roles that should be kind of shared amongst, you know, the ops and whatever administrative, appointments you've got.
Yeah.
But most of the time I would say the barrier isn't the doing of the work, it's the awareness of the process and the work that is to be done.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Definitely. Like a good JD for a restaurant manager where there isn't that marketing resource should have a component of some of this stuff in it.
Sure.
Then the next main thing which most people resonate with is content and digital.
Yep.
So that's all the work within your business that's about attracting the customer.
I mean, can I also point out we need to do an episode on content and digital one day.
It's the one thing that people are really interested in like, how the hell do I do this really well?
Yeah, but also even I feel like the people that have figured out how to do it well in heavy quotes, they don't define well.
Yeah.
Because what is well, right?
Is it converting?
Yeah. If it's just a bunch of vanity metrics.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, we've spent, $50,000 on content production in the last 2 years. and our followers went up by 40,000 followers, and our engagement per post is up massively, but our revenue has not changed.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Huge problem. And if you don't have the right forensic approach to looking at that from a marketing perspective, you'll never know.
You'll never find the gaps.
You just get a lot of subjective opinions on that. Looks good or doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, continue on. So first up, we've got sales and customer service, which is awesome. Then you're going into content and digital.
So it's the management of all your owned channels, and owned channels is a pretty marketing-y term, but that's all the platforms or outlets that you have access to that you can own the messaging for.
Sure.
So things like websites, EDM, social media kits, event sales packs, like everything that you can produce that you have control over that.
Control over is the key term.
Is the key term.
Got it.
Owned channels.
Yep.
When you move into earned channels, that's any third parties talking about you. So great press or inclusions in listings or
got you.
Podcast features. Yeah.
Where do you put those people that do the advertorials?
Hey, look, if they work, they can.
It's World Honey Day.
Yeah. If it aligns with your brand and you actually rate the product that you're being forced to kind of, the advertorial, go for it.
No, but I'm asking where is that? That's technically not earned; it's owned, right? Because you're paying for it and you're controlling the narrative.
Yeah, but
owned.
You kind of want it's organic. Earned media is the gold.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the gold.
For sure.
And then content can kind of move into other things like copywriting, producing content for the reservations team for the booking journey, making sure that all of the event language on the website is hitting keyword search terms in SEO.
Sure.
It can get.
Would you go as far as to say this extends into sales scripts for people, not just people that answer the phone, but what about people working on the floor every night, and what should I be talking about?
Yeah. Content is the stuff you're saying and showing about your venue. So if you've got somebody that is owning that, it means it's consistent across the board.
Well, I feel like it's an interesting one because you kicked this off, right, by saying, hey, it's the first stack that we look at is sales and customer service. And you refer to it as the people in your business that are driving revenue.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about this enough, or we don't say this enough, but every single person working on the floor, every single person that is talking to a customer is that.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of a dirty word to call them salespeople.
Yeah.
So we're like, no, that kind of, diminishes the craft of what I do. It's kind of cool, but you're in the best position than anyone in the marketing team to drive revenue.
You're all doing marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the biggest thing there, and you'll talk to it, I'm sure, is the power of word of mouth.
Yeah.
It is constantly forgotten about, and that word of mouth generally comes from an incredible experience.
Yeah.
Incredible hospitality, which happens at the coalface on the floor.
Yep. So I love that because I just think one of the things that, when you get to it, you're going to talk about the mission deck and that amazing document that you produce. To me, that is the piece that sets up the frontline staff members to be able to actually, convey. And it's to convey the mission, but what you're actually doing is you're not just driving revenue is the transaction, or it's the outcome. But effectively what you're doing is you're building that brand equity.
Yeah.
But I think it's I've just never thought, it's funny because I don't think many people have thought about it as, that sort of induction documentation needs to come from marketing. It's just that's the founder created that or the manager created that, but they're probably missing some big pieces that could join some big dots.
Huge. It's consistency of message.
Yeah.
I'll just talk about digital really quickly because content and digital kind of sit in the same space, and it might be one person that can do all of these things, or it might be a couple of separate roles, but digital is all about optimization and performance of the channels that you own. So website management, CRM, which is your database, EDMs, which are your newsletters, and how to make sure you're getting the most out of them, all the data and analytics like Google Analytics, tech and integrations. And it's taking that data and being able to feed it back to the ops team or the product team and go, here are some insights that you could apply in terms of making product adjustments, or, you know, this EDM had an insane click on the non-alcoholic cocktail that we were talking about. Your beverage team should know about that, knowing that there's an appetite within the database.
Just closing that loop.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you explain? Like, I think a lot of business owners feel that when it comes to content, you know, I can just create one set of content and then blast it across TikTok and Instagram and EDMs, and like the notion of reusing, you know, content for all the platforms generically is kind of a stupid thing to do, which I learnt the hard way managing my son's skateboarding Instagram. Which you let me know about. But tell me why I can't do that.
Well, because you're talking to different people.
Yeah.
So I don't even have a TikTok account, right? But a lot of people do, and the way that they interact with that content is far different to somebody opening an EDM, having a really big, in-depth read through what you're selling.
Even just Instagram to TikTok are completely different conversations.
But when you think about the what am I promoting, absolutely you should go, let's hit all of our channels with this. We've got this great new lunch special. We need to talk about it through every channel that we can, but not just I'm making this video and I'm going to hit send to all of these platforms in that form. You just have to think about who you're talking to.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a very quick snapshot of content and digital. The next is promotion, so PR.
Yep, which everyone knows about.
Yeah, and everyone spends a lot of money on. And I might dig down into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then there's the other stuff, like the top end of marketing, which is strategy, creative direction, brand strategy, concept ideation, the crossover with product identity, building that marketing architecture. That is kind of what I sit into the umbrella. So those four things. There's heaps more, but those four things.
Those just zoom out on the journey for a second here. We're talking about 3 stages of the journey, which is pre, during, and post. And that refers to the stages that every one of your customers experiences with you. Okay, and how you should approach it. So in the pre, during, and post, we're just talking about the pre-bit. And in the pre-bit, these are the 4 areas that pertain to that.
I think
there's crossover. But
there's definitely crossover, particularly on the digital side with the post, with feedback loops and managing all your review channels and analytics and what have you. The retention piece.
Sure.
But mostly this is the how do we attract them?
How do we get them? If I'm sitting there being like, cool, I want to be really smart about how we do the pre-bit in my organisation. They're the 4 spots.
This is it.
Love it. All right.
And then the reality of hospitality today is most businesses don't have the capability to have a full-time resource looking after all this stuff, let alone multiple that you need. So they start pinging out paying retainers here or having a freelance there, and all those things are really valuable when you've got great direction or somebody able to direct them really well. But they're only as good as the really, like, if you need to get your basics, your absolute 101 basics in order before you think about bringing in third parties who aren't in your business every day.
Right. I mean, it's so practical. Like, even if you used an example of like a chef in a kitchen. Right. Like, say I own a restaurant and I need to bring a chef in to work that night. And they've never worked in the business before. Right? It's a ring in. Right? Like, how well is that going to go? Right? Like, unless obviously the determining factor is going to be how well did I onboard them and train them, and how well is everything set up so that when they go, okay, I've got to do these bits of prep. Okay, well, there's the recipe and there's the steps that I do. Like, if all that is nailed, then cool, you can contract that out. Someone can come in and cover and they'll do a pretty good job. But if you haven't written down any of that shit, good luck, right? Like, that's going to be an interesting service that night. Yeah,
and you can just go around in circles and pay money for people to produce content or put PR articles out there in the world, and then the conversion point of that is met with friction because there's a whole bunch of just basic marketing shit that you haven't looked at. So I think we probably dial into some of those things today, and there is crossover with what we've chatted about before on that podcast, but this is stuff that if you don't have a marketing team and you're the owner and you're like, we've got some why are we quiet on a Thursday? It's like, look at this stuff.
Yep.
So I guess when I come at a marketing audit, like if we have a PAX client, one of the first things I do is get under the hood of, well, what are their channels saying? What are the basics? And this will circle back to a lot of the work we do in the identity and product parts of our pyramid.
Sure.
But the first thing is what are you and what are you offering? If that isn't so clear, then go back down to the bottom of the pyramid and look at identity and look at concept refinement and start there. But if we're climbing all the way up to the top and we're ready to promote, that needs to be really clear. And then I look at every single place that's possible for that to exist. So websites, booking journey, Google listings, social, media kits, and then, well, what's the public's perception of that, and do they align? And if there's a misalignment there, then we've got to go back down the pyramid.
In a busy service, seconds count. Square's point of sale is there to streamline your operations, from order flowing from the front of house to the back of house to tableside payments with Square handheld. It's tech your staff will love to use and tech they won't need to fiddle with, so they can focus on the best service. Head to squareup.com because service still matters.
Can I go back a step?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at someone's identity, like, what is this an intuitive process for you, or have you got some key steps there that help you define or determine whether their statement is clear or not? Like, say for instance, I'm a wine company, and my purpose is like, to change the way you view wine so dramatically that you'll never drink wine again in the same way. Like, when I say that statement, are you just like, shut the fuck up? That's not clear enough? Or do you go, no, I can work with that? But
I can probably work with that. And I think part of it maybe is a bit of intuition, but what needs to be clear in that statement is, what are you offering?
Yes.
As a customer that's a nice, beautiful reason why you exist,
Sure.
but what are you selling?
Got it. So that's the missing piece of that particular statement.
Yeah.
It's like, but you still haven't told me what the fuck you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Almost certainly natural wine or low intention wine, I think, in this case.
But also, like, are you just selling it? Are you just selling me cases on a subscription?
Yeah.
Are you just do you have a retail outlet where you're doing pizzas as well? Like, what's the story?
Yeah. Like, you've got to make that pretty clear what's on the box from the get-go.
It's got to be embedded in the statement.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's a lot of work we can do to get you there if you're unable to articulate that. But I'm going to come at this with the assumption that you've done that work.
Got it.
You know what you are and what you're selling. We're a wine bar in the inner north offering shared plates inspired by European travels. It's okay, cool, I've got a vibe as a customer of what I'm going to get there.
Is it too harsh a criticism to maybe make an assumption that the crazy statement I came up with before, which was it 30 seconds ago? I can't even remember it. So clearly not that impactful. But like, that's the sort of statement that might come from, spending money with a branding agency a bit too soon.
Yeah.
And not to hate on branding agencies, but more often than not you see this, right, where it's like, okay, it's a statement for external comms that sounds great. It's going to attract a lot of interest.
Yeah.
But your thing is so operational.
Yeah.
And it's so like, hey, how does the rubber hit the road?
Yeah.
That it's taking that first part and optimizing it with that second part to really sort of make the magic happen.
Well, and where magic can happen with an investment with branding agencies is if you deliver them that.
Yeah, totally.
And go, what we are and
Yeah.
what we offer is this.
Yes.
Now make it gorgeous.
Yeah, got you. But if you don't give them that first bit, they're just in orbit, right?
They're in orbit.
They're trying to figure it out for you.
Yeah, or they'll charge you $50,000 to do a strategy piece on it, which you
got it.
can sometimes deliver some really wicked stuff. But if you don't know what you are and you're asking, you're about to pay someone loads of money to help you promote who you are.
Yeah,
there's some missing pieces there.
Yeah.
So once that identity is really clear, I'll rip apart all of your channels, like your website. Is that front and center? And if it's not, recommendation will be make it more obvious. There's so many websites now that have gorgeous video movement on their homepage, which is sexy. I don't know what you are. And unless you've got a really compelling SEO strategy behind that can do all the tricks, there's no words on your website.
Right.
So nobody will be able to search for you.
This again comes back to the vanity piece.
Yeah.
It's like you're never going to open like I'm just trying to think of a really stupidly extreme example, right? Like say you open a wine bar and you want it to obviously look cool, right? You want to be cutting edge and it's like we're in Melbourne, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, but you're not going to create a space at the front that is like a literal art gallery that's a maze to walk through before you can even get to the first station where someone seats you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Right? Like you're not going to do that in real life, but yet we would do that with our digital assets.
We definitely do. We're assuming that the audience already has bought what you're selling.
That's it. That is the statement.
So you can do that if you're a legacy brand, like Francois probably doesn't need a website, right?
Sure.
Because they're a legacy brand. But if you're brand new trying to break through market, tell people what the hell you're doing.
Remove the friction.
Remove it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I look at your Google business listing, which is a massive opportunity, and I still don't think enough people know about it. You can own so much of that beyond just beyond getting angry that customers are posting shit photos about you on Google and you can't pull them down. Get into your Google listing and make sure that your statement of what you do is updated.
Yeah.
Make sure your category makes sense. So I used this example this morning when we were chatting, Leon, but a diner in the middle of the CBD that's categorised as diner in Australia isn't coming up when I'm searching cafe near me.
Got it.
Like that's
Even though
a problem.
it is a cafe.
Yeah.
It's a diner-themed cafe. But they're calling it the diner.
They're calling it a diner because that's what they want to be known as. And that's cool. But in Google, it's like if there's a tourist in town going, can I get a coffee near me?
Typing in diner.
Nobody's typing in diner.
Unless they're American.
And it'll
work.
And then they won't find any in Melbourne.
We're the only one.
There's alternate categories too. So don't just list something singular. If you are a wine bar that kind of broadly stretches into restaurant land or bar land, you can add like 10 other supplementary categories. So just thinking about all the people that would be searching for a place to go.
Yep.
How do you want to come up? And if you are really flexible, which most Melbourne venues are, in that you don't just, you're so welcome to drop in for drinks and snacks. If you're labelled as a restaurant on Google and just that, you probably won't show up.
So can I ask as well, like how much does this stuff really move the needle? Because I think for a lot of people out there, they're going to go, well, half of them probably don't even have the login password to this shit. And it's like, I think that manager who worked here 6 years ago had it. I'll see if I can message them. But like, even if I do have all that, you can almost be forgiven for thinking, how many people are really going to be searching it? How many people, do you have a yardstick? Give me just some type of ballpark. Like, how much is this going to change for me in noticeable revenue?
If you've got it wrong.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Okay, got it.
If you've got it wrong, a week.
A week?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we've got examples of within the last 6 months where we've changed the listing and the reservations shot up, literally overnight.
That night.
Something categorised as a wine bar. No, it's actually a very specific type of cuisine and it's a restaurant, full service.
Yeah.
So change that and then all of a sudden the bookings go up.
Wow. But surely it's got to be like you changed the listing, but then also you changed you added the reserve now button or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a figure, but ultimately just that one thing alone is going to make an impact.
Optimize your listing, go through the process, fill out as much as you possibly can within, you click edit profile and there's 18 different sections that you can fill out. Fill them out.
18.
Oh, there's loads.
So, but what's also great about this isn't like, okay, now you've got to be on this every single week. You do this once, right?
Yeah. And there's ways, part of somebody's marketing remit or the digital marketing person, it would be their responsibility to keep peppering this with little updates.
Yeah.
Google loves it when you use their system to its full potential, and it will prioritise you in search if you're using it correctly.
Love that. Yeah.
So if you've got a ton of shitty photos that customers have uploaded, you can upload your own.
Yeah.
And if you do that, 4 photos every couple of weeks, then Google's going, okay, cool. Like this is actually what the food looks like here.
Yeah.
And I'm no SEO expert, but this shit is so basic that I would love every restaurant to look at it tomorrow.
Just do it, yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, I feel like anyone listening to this is just going to go, oh, yeah, I can totally do that.
Yeah,
right?
and it's free.
Yeah, and it's going to take half an hour.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, just cross-check your details. Are your opening hours correct?
Yeah.
Before a public holiday and long before a public holiday.
Yeah.
If you're opening, update your Google hours, because think about people who are making those decisions, particularly tourists coming in, they'll just Google and go, they're closed. They're not going to look on your website for a pop-up or a what's on listing. They're going to look at Google and get a really quick snapshot of what you're doing. So if that's wrong, you're letting people walk out the door, basically.
Hey, let's just throw a little listener engagement device out there without having any discussion about it prior. But feel like if anyone's listening to this and they actually do it, and they see within the first week a really cool uptick, hit us up and let us know. We won't mention, the name of the restaurant if you don't want us to, but let's just do a little competition. Whoever gets the biggest improvement that's kind of tangible, Michael will take them out for dinner.
Oh, fuck. I was waiting for what's the hook here. Oh, there it is.
You had a free consulting dinner with Michael.
Do a little test. Everyone who has a venue, do a little test. It's like, all right, if I am a bistro, a Melbourne bistro, Google Melbourne bistros.
Right.
If you don't come up at all, there's loads of work to do.
Yeah.
If you come up, have a look at what your Google listing says about you, and have a look if your website comes up. There's always a little bit of preview text that sits under the website. So many people don't take control of this.
Oh, is that the 3 tasting notes, so to speak?
Well,
cozy, casual, great for kids.
The 3 tasting notes that are on Google are generated by reviews, and you have absolutely no control over them. So it's a really good metric for me going, what does the public think we are? And if you've got fine diner and you're actually a casual plates restaurant, somewhere along your messaging journey you've cooked it.
Sure.
Because the public perception is that you're that. There's a section within Google where you can write your own, it'll say from the restaurant, and you can claim that and properly tell people what you do. But the preview of your website, there's often 2 sentences, and a lot of the time the websites have been set up and a dev has just kind of chucked some shit in there.
Right.
So it might be that your event page, the first 3 sentences on your event page, is the one that's allocated to that preview on Google. You've got to change that, because that needs to align with your overarching identity. We're a European bistro in the suburbs doing this.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we going next?
We're going to website, customer experience, user experience, and conversion potential. So I look at, okay, how quickly on your website can I get access to the menu? The number 1 viewed page ever on restaurant websites.
Yep.
And on that, is it up to date? Is it clear?
This is stuff we talked about on the reservation strategy episode, right?
Maybe.
We definitely did.
Yeah,
I remember you threw that great idea out there, which was get someone
Yeah.
just,
that's right.
Yeah, jump on a call.
Yeah, get your mum.
Screen record.
Yeah.
Or just watch them actually make a booking.
Yeah.
And see how they go.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll skate past that. I look at your EDM platform, your database. Are you capturing data? Is there a whole bunch of data out there just sitting somewhere that you're not optimizing?
What sort of data would that be?
So in the booking journey, you can opt into marketing. If that's not auto-checked, get it auto-checked.
Got it. Wow, just a simple one like that.
That's thousands
wow.
a week.
Do you guys always, just as individuals in your consumer behaviours, do you often untick the box? Is your default
for marketing?
Untick? Yeah.
Always untick.
Always untick. That's your default.
Except when I'm making a restaurant booking.
Leave it ticked.
I leave it ticked for restaurant bookings.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of your
because
jam.
I want to. Yeah, I'm.
What do you do, Varney?
Yeah, I pick and choose.
Pick and choose.
Yeah. If
Interesting.
it's someone
It's going to be
I want
something quite special for me to keep it.
Like what's an example?
Like
Some running shit.
No, actually, I've got a few of this. No, it was like a friend's restaurant.
Got it. Okay.
If it's like a sale on nappies on some random website, I'm definitely unchained.
You're not in. Yeah.
See, I am brutal untick. No matter what it is, I just don't trust them. But it's funny. Like my wife is the total opposite. Her default is keep it tick.
So is my wife's.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of people who still read EDMs. Yeah. Don't let people tell you otherwise.
So auto ticket.
Yeah.
Gold.
And then I look how you're using the database, what content, how often, blah blah.
So sorry, slow down. So you're going to look at how you're using that content. Did you say?
Yes.
So not how you're using that database. How you're using the content that you're speaking to that database.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to try to go, hey, what are you actually saying? Are you just saying generic shit like it's Mother's Day this weekend?
Yeah.
Instead of like it's Mother's Day this weekend and here's why you should.
Here's the offer.
Yeah.
And looking back at past sends and ripping through the analytics of those, what's your open rate standard, to kind of get a bit of a benchmark on that channel that you own. How well are you optimizing it?
What's your vibe on like fully segmenting out your customer base into buckets that are kind of optimized for conversion?
Yeah, I mean, in utopia, absolutely.
Like Starbucks,
and this is what like res systems or res platforms will sell into you. Like, people who love Brunette Rosé, you can send them it relies on a human.
You got to curate it.
That's all tech in
the operation to tag that person, and that's often the missing piece.
And monitor it because that could, like you get 80 people that are in that bucket that like the whatever you just said.
Yeah.
And then suddenly that conversion rate goes down.
Yeah.
Maybe there's people in there that don't like it so much anymore, and you got to be weeding that out.
Yeah. What you can do though is everybody who booked for Mother's Day last year, I'm going to send them an early release.
Nice.
EDM, and that's a way of like segmenting your database.
Yeah. But it starts to cross over full on into like proper digital e-com domain where the opportunities are so incredible, but it relies on that foundational architecture and crossover with the ops team doing their part of the piece. Yep.
For that to really work.
But it can be super impactful for a restaurant, but where you're going to see a lot of people like really getting value out of this is like more like, if you're a coffee roastery or a beer company or something, like this is where you really drive that e-com optimization.
Yeah. Give me spit out a list of everybody who's bought sours in the last.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Then I look at the reservation system and the back end strategy, which we won't dig into because we've got another episode of that. And then feedback loops and your review management.
Talk to me about feedback loop and review management.
So this is part of the retention piece. This is how do I keep them coming back? And your Google listing, don't hate on it, like get around it in terms of people leaving reviews on it, good or bad. Respond to them.
Yeah, but definitely don't take the 1-star review, screenshot it, put it on your socials, and then tell everyone why that person's an idiot.
There's one piece of advice I can give on this episode is please stop doing that. It's not good, honestly, just from a mental health perspective, bad for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You're focusing on the wrong shit, and then it's projecting this idea of negativity out into the world as well. Not great.
What should you do?
I think Loren can answer this as well, but for me, I look at what is coming up consistently. What are the themes? Like I'll see a 1-star and I don't lose my mind anymore. I see a 5-star and I'm like, yeah, okay, great, that's lovely. But when I start to see a consistent, it's 3 stars and it's particular, the sound is, it's too loud in the restaurant or it's a particular dish that gets mentioned or just look at those consistencies and then feed that back to the restaurant because they're the things that are obvious that need to improve rather than the random person that a booking got forgotten or something that happened like that that's unusual. You're like, well, we can fix that. It's obvious. It's easy. But it's the stuff that comes up again and again you can't ignore.
It's a good thing to appoint a gatekeeper of this in the business.
Yeah, that's great advice.
And the less people who get that notification in their emails about a 1-star, the better because there's just so much angst that can, you've got a director or an owner pinging you going, what's this about? Without knowing the greater context of the other 1,000 reviews that are actually quite good.
So your advice there is like have a gatekeeper who will consolidate all the reviews on a weekly basis and just give me the insights.
Yeah, and a good reservation system with AI capability now is doing that for you.
That's true.
And identifying themes. It's awesome.
Yeah.
In operations I've worked at in the past, it would be part of the weekly management meeting to go, cool, what's happened in the last week from a reviews perspective? What are the trends and what do we need to action in terms of, do we need to retrain that person? Do we need to talk to, does the chef need to look at that dish? But from a public perception perspective, replying to reviews, good or bad, will help your Google listing. It will help your ranking, and it's also a really nice brand piece that if somebody's completely shit-canned you on Google and other customers can see that you have responded really quickly going, please get in touch, we want to talk to you about it, that's good. Yeah. That's the right thing rather than ignoring it.
Yeah. Or arguing.
Yeah, and don't get so caught up on your star rating. Spend more time replying to reviews. And then social media I look at. So I look at your channels, like what are you actually using and are you using them all well? Or are you just, do you have a Facebook for the sake of it and you're not actually doing anything on it? Is your identity piece really clear there? We are this and we offer that through the bios within or through the content itself. And is it optimized? Do you have all of the buttons active? Do you have your hours really front and center? Do you have your address? Are your link trees taking you to those pages of the website that people want to get to quickly, reservations pages and menu pages? I think everybody needs to come at social media and just the setup of it. People are deciding where to go based on that.
Yeah.
Before they're not even going to your website. So look at that channel that's free to own.
Yeah.
And make sure it's optimized.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a kind of a new world now as well. Like we did that episode on the Gen Z stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like use that as a bit of a guide as to how you think or rethink about the way that you manage content.
Yeah.
I mean, remember ages ago that William Anglis student group we had that did that insane research for us? Were you
No, I don't think I was there. No.
It was next level. And they just basically stood outside a train station doing an exercise for a local restaurant that had opened in the area. And we're just talking to locals about, what do you think about this place? And so many people had not even heard about it, when they literally walk past it 3 times a day. And one of the really smart questions that they put in there was like, where do you tend to get your news around, where to go? And it was some stupid stat, like over 90%.
Yeah, it over-indexed.
Well, it was nuts. And what they said was like where they get their advice in heavy quotes from is from influencers.
Yeah.
They've just found a bunch of influencers online that they go, hey, that person really speaks to me. And now over 90% of their decisions get made based on those recommendations.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Or social media is guiding the way. So even before you think about content, just get the basic information on there. This happens all the time when I'm trying to find somewhere to go on like a public holiday, what's open.
Right.
You go to the website and they haven't got it listed on the website, on their homepage, on a pop-up or what's on, kills me.
Yeah.
I go to Google, looks like they're closed. I kind of heard that they were open. I go to their social and there's like some dumb story that expired yesterday going, it's
we're
like,
open.
well, are you open or are you not?
Yeah,
so look at
think about that.
Look at that.
Okay.
And then the customer service touch points is the next thing I might look at. So I'll dig through emails. I'll see what your phone setup is, gift vouchers, just all those little admin-y, annoying things that happen every day and how are they being managed.
And could you extend the customer service touch point? I know we're getting into more like, Michael's domain with the product stuff and the during bit of the journey, but that then is that's if this was a Venn diagram, that's where they would cross over, right?
Yeah, they cross over in a few bits.
Yeah, but that particular nexus is kind of like where, the customer service touch points, you're going to talk about, you say emails and phone and that sort of stuff, but at the table too.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the during bit.
Yeah.
And all of this, brand deck, mission stuff, the identity piece, like that has to be woven through that as well if you want to get the maximum conversion.
Definitely. The way you talk to your customers in venue has to mirror how you do it out of venue.
Yeah, I think a great quote that has always stuck in my head from someone regarding that in particular is, does the holiday match the brochure?
Yeah.
And it's just like constant idea of, a restaurant opens and it's been open 3 months. You can't wait to get there. It all looks glitzy and great on socials and people posting about it. And you have this really clear idea in your head and you get there and it's like the biggest letdown. Not the biggest letdown, but there's parts missing in the storytelling or the touch points at table or didn't even really learn about why the food is in this way or all those bits that are missing.
Yeah, not that identity piece, not filtering through to the ops team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything else in the marketing order?
The last one is I'll look at all agencies that you're working with. Anything you're spending money on that you think should be getting you results in marketing.
What are you measuring there? Like, is it converting?
Is it converting?
And if not, why not?
Yeah, a lot of people will pay a social media agency and all they're doing is providing you with strategy, whereas the venue needs content capture and hustle and response to people messaging you and live highlights. So you might have a good strategy and somebody that can create a gorgeous mood board and tell you when and what to post, but then the missing piece is the do it.
Yeah.
So I'll look at all of that stuff.
Okay, so quick time out. Let's go back a step.
Yeah.
So what we've sort of covered so far, right? Like your advice and your kind of like jam is to start with just approaching marketing from that lens of like pre, during, post.
Yeah.
Right. So everything that happens to your guest, pre, during, post, right? And even if you just start there, you're going to get some great perspective.
Yeah.
But then even within each of those three, let's call them pillars, can it be a pillar if it's not four? Do you have to have 4 pillars?
I don't know.
This podcast is brought to you by 4 pillars. No, you don't need 4 pillars. You can have 1 pillar.
You can have 2 pillars, right?
Yeah, you can have 300 if you want.
Got it. So the 3 pillars, right? And in each of those pillars, there's a whole toolkit. But I feel like your marketing audit kind of speaks to all.
Yeah.
All the toolkits within each of the pillars.
Yeah.
And if I am to use my incredible memory to try to like summarize each of those points, tell me what I got wrong here.
Okay.
So categories within your marketing audit. You start with identity because you need that to be super clear. And there's a lot of alignment across all the channels, like the identity, let's call it like the glue. Okay. So you got to nail the glue. Okay. Then you're going to look at the Google business listing. You're going to look at website UX and conversion potential. I think that's how you put it. You're going to look at EDM platform. Then you're going to go into reservation and reservation strategy like we did on that other episode. Then you're going to look at social media, all the content creation. Then you're going to look at customer service touch points. And then you're going to review all the agencies and retainers that someone's spending money on and making sure you're getting bang for buck.
Yeah.
How did I do?
Feedback was the bit that you missed.
Dang
the feedback loop. You did pretty well. You did pretty well.
Okay, that's epic, dude. I mean, again, if someone just wrote that shit down, took it into their business, they're going to make their business better.
Yeah.
Even without having, like you involved to help them with that, they're going to be able to add value just by just going, cool, these are the areas I should look at my business through and then go and do it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's the 1%ers. Like I'm the queen of adjusting 1%ers.
It's all about optimization.
Yeah. It's boring and annoying, but give me a year and if you do, like a 1%er every week.
Yeah, it stacks up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. Okay, so where would we go from here? I mean, that was hectic good. Like I feel like anyone listening to that is going to get a lot of value from it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But there's more, right?
There's so much more.
Yeah. So do we want to hit pause here
I think so.
and take everything else into the next episode?
Yeah, I think so, particularly how marketing has a play or a very significant place in each part of our pyramid.
Yep.
So identity, product, consistency, and then promo. I'm not just waiting at the top of the triangle to hit to hit stuff. We're doing work in all of those levels.
Love that.
It'd be good to dial into that at some point.
Okay, so let's just say that was so that whole episode was all about approach.
Yeah.
And let's just say that was part 1 of
What is marketing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it could be 6 episodes. I don't know how many we're going to do, but that was part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.
Cool.
Lovely.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
gang.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Show notes, takeaways, and tools are available via our website, pax.melbourne. The PAX Hospitality Podcast is produced by PAX and Crate Creative. Support for this podcast comes from Square and Brunswick Design and Innovation. Our music is produced by Patricia Heath and Matthias Vestergren.